Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where last episode we completed the contract with this crazy contraption and we don't need to do that anymore. We now have an air race, which I believe is over at the alley base, and we are going to load in our plane for that, this plane here. It should be plenty fast to make this happen. And it should be plenty controllable as well. I don't think we'll have any issues with that. So we need to put this on the... Okay, so these are both runways. I'm not sure which runway we need to launch this from. But it should be absolutely fine to launch from either, probably. So which runway is this supposed to be from? Where's the start point? Start checkpoint is over here. Okay, I'm wondering if we would be better off launching from the L runway? That checkpoint looks suspiciously like buzzing the control tower. Okay. Well, I guess we'll do it. So I'm going to put us at like 30% thrust right now. And I want to see how we do taking off at 30% thrust. Because this thing's probably a little overpowered for this. Actually, I changed my mind. We're going up to 100% thrust. Okay, that's interesting. It's definitely pulling off to the side. Significantly to the side. Why is it doing that? Well, we did have it pulling off to the side on the village pad, I suppose, and I compensated for it manually. So let's see if that's happening here. That might be due to just some weird facings here. But we can just do it like this. Let's just get lifted off. There we go. Now that we're lifted off, we should be able to bank around here, although we're not going fast enough to bank really, really precisely. So let's just get up over this way, and then we're going to need to, apparently, buzz this tower. So let's get banked over. Need to nose up a little bit. Okay. Overbanked. Okay. Now where's this checkpoint? It's out that way. Noted. Ooh, hang on. There we go. We need to get a little bit of altitude there. No doubt about that. This thing is almost certainly going to be fast enough to do this in an inefficient way. And this is definitely going to be inefficient. Okay, this is not a good angle to come at this from. We absolutely need to be a little lower. I need to learn where these checkpoints are. So that's fine. This is also a fairly short race, apparently. Ooh, we're not banking fast enough here. I think we have too much airspeed. Let's try throttling this down to somewhere around 60%. Because, yeah, I think we just have too much airspeed to really be as maneuverable as I want to be here. Okay, I'm going to come down this way for right now. And we're going to head off over here. Did not get quite as banked as I thought we were going to there. Okay. So we are down to about 400 meters per second. That is a lot slower. We can increase or decrease our speed as needed just by changing our throttle, right? So that's not that big of a deal. The main issue here, of course... We did not nail that. Okay. The main issue, of course, is we're not banking at a particularly tight corner. So I'm going to put us at 50% thrust, and we just need to figure out what we're intended to be at, right? I think 50% thrust is probably going to be better here. Oh yeah, this definitely banks a lot better. Way tighter on the banking. Okay. And we come out of this like that. There we go. 50% thrust seems to be about where we want to be for this. We were kind of backwards coming at that. That's fine. I'm just trying to learn where the checkpoints are right now. But I think we're coming at this from the correct direction right now. Is it going to have us go through this ravine? I feel like it's going to have us go through this ravine. Okay. Yup, it definitely is. And that is really tight there. Okay. Noted. So that's fine. Ish. What are you doing? Can you stop this? Unlock the current heading. Thank you. That's fine. We could bypass the ravine in theory and just come at it this way then. It's obviously not the way you're intended to do this, but it is a theoretical possibility for sure. Where we come at it like that. And then checkpoint 5 would be out over here, right? And we would just bank around. Yeah, we're definitely intended to be going a lot slower and a lot more maneuverable than this thing is. Because we're intended to, like, stick in that ravine all the way over. That said, we're probably fast enough that we don't need to worry about it. We wasted a lot of time. Oh, we missed that. Okay. We wasted a lot of time already, and we still have 6 minutes. We're already over half, or almost half done with this race, so I'm not too concerned about the timing here. So I want to bring this around this way a bit and come at it like from the ravine here. So we're going to bring this guy right on around. Let's loop it around like so. This is getting a lot more altitude than I had hoped. Like a lot more altitude. Because now we're going to be in quite a dive, and I have a feeling we're not going to be able to pull out of this very well. Yeah, that was the concern. Okay, let's retry this. And now that we know where the majority of these are, it should be okay. Buzzing that tower is an interesting way to start it, to be sure. And let's put ourselves at 50% thrust. 50% seems to be pretty decent. I'm actually going to bring it down to 40% thrust. Okay, so now we need to get taking off here, which shouldn't be particularly complicated. Boy, it really wants to go that way. I don't know why. This is a weird way to be going right now. We're currently going lateral. That was weird. I don't know why it was doing that. The front wheel was stuck to the ground there and wouldn't come off the ground. That's bizarre. Let's see if that reproduces at 40% thrust. I wonder if it was downforce from the nose-up attempt. That's interesting. This thing does naturally take off, so we don't have to do a nose-up attempt. Yeah, it's downforce. Okay. That's very intriguing. And then once that happens, it starts drifting sideways like this. Very, very fascinating. And now our wheel is clipped into the ground. Okay, so that's fine. That just means we're going to have to throttle up more when we're taking off. I don't mind it. So we're going to max the throttle, and we're going to take off this way. Cool. We should just naturally get off the ground, but we'll just lift ourselves up a bit. There we go. And now I'm dropping our engine down to 40%. Okay, now we're going to come around this way. And we'll see how maneuverable we are at these speeds. But it's clear to me that we don't want to have our engine maxed while doing this, because we're going to be going way too fast if we do. Okay, so banking around here. We're going to need to bank a little bit more. Buzz the control tower. There we go. And then the idea appears to be that we come at this from this direction, which I'm not sure if we have enough bank to do. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay. So that's definitely noted. Let's just get this looped around for right now. We may want to increase our amount of pitch authority, to be honest, to compensate for the larger engines. We still have this set up for the smaller engines, and the pitch authority is definitely kind of low. I don't like this dive. Okay, so the pitch authority is kind of low, no doubt about that, but this seems like this will be a manageable thing. So let's just get this banked around rather than trying to pitch circularly. I think banking it is the way to go here. Okay, so checkpoint 2 is, of course, going to be out over here. Yikes. Okay, yeah, that was my fault. I accidentally hit the yaw there, and I shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to actually undo and exit this. I want to see what this will feel like if we increase the pitch authority by 1 tick. There we go. That's it. That's all I want to do. And now we're going to launch this again. So, lessons learned. Up to full throttle as we take off. Then we drop it to about 40%. Okay, let's get out of here. Dropping throttle to 40%. There we go. We've definitely got some more pitch authority here. So that means that we should be able to turn a little bit sharper. That is good. So let's bring this right on around and get lined up to buzz the control tower. Although this is not necessarily the ideal direction to do that from. Okay, so there's a control tower buzz. Perfect. And then we head out this direction. I don't like this angling for the checkpoint, but it is manageable. Then checkpoint 3, which is, of course, right out over here. We're going to need to head a little bit more this way, and I want to come at it from below, because I'm just going to jump the ravine here. Ooh, that was spicy. We actually hit the landing wheels on the ground there. We're going to jump the ravine because we're still going a little too fast to be able to navigate that ravine. So let's bring this around. I'm dropping our airspeed and our thrust down to 30%. And then we're going to come at this checkpoint from this direction as we did before. This is a much more manageable direction to come at it from, and it's not like we are lacking on speed with this plane design. There we go. And then we can bring this up and then bank it this way, because we're going to need to loop back around and go to checkpoint 5 over there, right? So that is absolutely the mission here. I want to nose up a little bit here as we bank. There we go. Looking good. And then we'll come over to checkpoint 5. We have so much time left. We have 8.5 minutes, and we're already at checkpoint 5. So this seems absolutely fine. That extra little bit of pitch authority making some amount of difference. Ooh, did not quite get that pull up. That's unfortunate. That's just a matter of execution, though, to be honest. So, like, I just got to start pitching up earlier or get a little bit of lateral speed in that. That would be fine, too. So I think our best bet as far as this goes is to come at this buzzing it from this direction. So basically a full 180-degree turn up over here after we get off the ground, rather than coming at it from this way. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to drop us down to that 30% this time. And we're going to head out this way a little bit, but then we're going to start a loop out this way. I just wanted to get a little bit more space here. And I want to be turned more sharply than this, to be honest. But let's just position ourselves right about here. Okay, and let's get that checkpoint done. Fantastic. And then, of course, we're going to want to be banking out this way. Like so. So we're moving at 200 meters per second right now at 30% thrust. And that seems semi-reasonable. So let's get checkpoint 2 underway. There we go. That's a much better angle to take that from. And then checkpoint 3. We're going to need to nose up a little bit. I wonder if we can attempt the ravine here. I kind of don't want to, but at the same time, it's clearly the desire is to... Yeah, we can't turn that sharply. So that's not going to be a thing. We're definitely not going to be doing that. Noted. I did like the start to that a lot better. Let's unlock that heading. Thank you. And let's get out of here. Okay, there we go. That nose down force is awkward, for sure. Let's bring this down to about 30% thrust. There we go. We're heading out this direction for now, and then we're going to loop around. I wanted more space than we had last time. So let's just bring this right on over and get to that start checkpoint. A little further. There we go. About here or so. Okay. This'll do. Excellent. Now we're, of course, going to head out this way. So we're not going to attempt to run the ravine. This plane is not maneuverable enough to do that, but it's fast enough that we don't need to care. So that seems good. I want to lose a little altitude here and then come at this like so. Oh, we missed it. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, in that case, we're going to have to get this turned on around and come at it again. It's not like we're short on time for this. So that's okay. And it should be much easier to land at this runway than at the village runway, because the village runway has that drop-off. So this runway should be significantly easier to land on. Okay, let's bring this on around, and let's hopefully not miss it this time. That would be ideal. Okay. Coming at it, and there we go. Perfect. That did take us about a minute to get through that checkpoint, but honestly, that's fine. We have 10 minutes and 9 checkpoints. So, like, we have so much time. So we're going to hit this checkpoint. We're going to go up and out of the ravine here. So we're going to come at it from this direction. And then we're going to need to come at the checkpoint 4 from the other direction. I'm not going to make any attempt to go through that ravine. We just don't have enough turn speed to do that. And our airspeed is also too high for it. So that is reasonably fine, but we're just going to bring this right on around like so. Hang on. A little further. There we go. We're going to go down, and then we're going to come up like this. Now we need to get turned back around. Wonderful. And checkpoint 5 is, of course, up over that way. We're going to need to nose up a bit here. There we go. And get lined up for checkpoint 5 here, about like that. Excellent. I'm using the target indicator here to determine whether we are approximately lined up or not. I actually want to come at this from a little bit more this direction. And be nosing up and out. I don't think we got that. No, we did not. Okay. That's unfortunate. Well, we've got lots of time, so that's a kind of difficult one to hit, actually, because it's a very, very steep turn. We don't really have the maneuverability to do this the way it's intended to be done. That's the thing. So we're going to come around this direction, and we're going to need to get turned around again. But yeah, lack of maneuverability is definitely making this a bit of a struggle, but we should be able to do it regardless with this design. We're going to have to nose up here because of these mountains. Okay, we're nosed up a lot right now. I want to be nosing down. Okay, this is a really bad approach. We can't pull out of this dive in time if we go for it. So that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to come up with a different way to approach this. It's because of the immediate sharp rise in the terrain right there behind it. That's what's making this complicated to hit. This shouldn't be very complicated. I just need to take my time and line it up. That's what needs to happen here. So we need to head out this direction, and that'll be fine. Again, this plane is not the most maneuverable thing in the world. I want to drop the nose a little bit here. The plane is not the most maneuverable thing in the world, but it is definitely doable. I'm 100% convinced that we can do this. So there's that one. And then checkpoint 6 is again a very, very sharp turn that I'm not going to attempt to make on the first run here right now. This plane is definitely, this is definitely intended to be done with a lot more maneuverable of a plane. This plane is fast, but it's not all that maneuverable, right? So that is definitely the core issue that we have right now. Like, look at how slow that is to turn. Okay, so we're going to come at it from, like, this direction out over here, right? But I want to get a decent amount of space. So we're going to do exactly that. We've still got 5 minutes here, so I'm not too concerned about it. We're going to need to nose up a little bit here. Okay, I don't like this directionality that we're coming at from it. We need to be coming at it from, like, this way. So we need to get a bunch of space out this direction is the way that we need to do that, if we want to do that with this design. In reality, we should probably make a design that is more maneuverable and less fast. But I do believe that we can do it with this one. And I think that would be faster to do it with this one than it would be to make a proper design for this. It'll just be a matter of figuring out how to approach each of these. And yeah, from this direction, we're going to have no real problem on this approach. Okay, I'm nosing down here because I want to dive up and not really dive. I want to fly up and through them. Okay, so checkpoint 7 is out over here. That looks pretty easy to approach. I'm not sure where checkpoint 8 is. Out over there. Okay. Noted. That also looks very easy to approach. Very open. And then checkpoint 9 should just be going back and landing. Which on the alley pad should be, or rather on the alley runway, should be much, much easier to do. Okay. So here's checkpoint 8. We're buzzing this outpost. There we go. And then we've got checkpoint 9. This should be back on the runway. So let's get banked around here, get a visual on the runway. Okay, visual acquired. We've got 3 minutes to do this landing. Cool. So all we need to do is get a landing here, and that far runway appears to be the one that is desired. I'm cutting our engines right now. And we're just working on getting a little bit lined up here. Okay. This is not going to be exactly on the runway. And we're working on slowing down. It really wants to pull off to the side. I have the brakes on right now. And all we need to do here is not flip here. Are we okay? Not exactly. We're not exactly okay. I'm wondering if our jet engine can get us fixed here. The answer is yes. Beautiful. Okay, so the jet engine was able to lift us off from that vertical position, which is kind of insane. I'm going to put us at 1% jet engine. And now we just need to taxi over to the checkpoint. That's the idea. A very awkward landing, to be sure. I need to figure out why this thing likes to really pull off to the left when it lands. We're going to lock target on the checkpoint. And let's bring this up to like 2% engine. We don't need to go much higher than that. Okay, this is only 5 meters per second. I'm going to take this up to 5% engine. I just want to taxi over to this checkpoint, right? We have a minute and a half to do this, so it's not really all that concerning. I don't want to be going too fast when we're going up and over this lip, because that could create problems. So we're just going to sit at 10 meters per second for now, and I'm going to break our heading a bit. We're going to head off over here, and we're going to break this down to about 3 meters per second. We're drifting a little too low right now. Let's get the engines up a bit. And there we go. That is a completed contract. Definitely the way that was intended to be done. There was no shenanigans at all. Perfect. Well, we can recover this craft, and that will be excellent. Okay, so that contract is completed, and we can move on to Splashdown. Go to the bay in front of the port. Don't hit the water faster than 20 meters per second. Okay, we'll see how we end up doing that. That'll be interesting. It's only 500k that we get for it, but it unlocks a new location, so that'll be absolutely fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.